How's it going, guys? Chris Mays, Virtue Bowling Supply influencer. Today we're going to be doing a summit comparison. I'm going to be throwing a summit and then also a reality for a stronger look, and then I'll throw a Zen for a little weaker and a little cleaner action. Pretty good first shot. Definitely likes to dig in the oil. Definitely a lot of action vibes, just maybe a little cleaner. Just kind of looking 10, 11, 12 at the arrows. Not too quick, not too slow.
These lanes are pretty beat up.
They're definitely pretty fried. Practice looked all right. We definitely got to play a little straighter for sure. Off my hand that wasn't good, but definitely rolled up nice. Definitely was dropped. Got to the friction and still came back. Probably for the, due to the cleaner cover on it. Definitely hooks a ton.
Do you think this ball would be better for like a tournament player or somebody that's just bowling like a house shot league? Or
it could probably do a little bit of both. I think if you get your spot on a house shot, it probably looks really good. I'm more I want to see it on patterns for sure. It could be a mid-range ball where you after the fresh you throw something like your reality or your gems, and transition ball where you need something to get to the front but not really lack the back end, Definitely got around that one. You can really tell how much it comes off the friction. Definitely cleaner. A lot of action vibes, but definitely a lot cleaner. You can tell it comes off the friction. Definitely looking to get this one a little started a little sooner.
When's the last time you threw it?
Threw it at the regional a few weekends back. Haven't thrown it much. Haven't been really bowling on patterns. This ball is a little too strong for house shots, but it looks great on a lot of variety of patterns. Definitely smoother. You can tell it doesn't come off the friction quite like the Summit does. It's really smooth ball. Yeah, I like the smoother look off the friction when they get clipped like this. Definitely better to have a little smoother and more tumbly bowling ball for sure.
Do you prefer your reality over something like your Zen, or or your phase 2 or anything like that?
I don't think I really have a preference of bowling balls. A lot of people say like they have a favorite bowling ball, but when you're bowling tournaments and stuff, you can't really have a favorite ball. It's just my favorite ball is the one that's gonna strike. That ball's really good. All right, we'll throw a Zen. Same area. Definitely cleaner. Didn't want to pick up in the oil quite like the Summit did. Almost went behind the head pin.
How does it feel knowing that your biggest fan is watching you?
Yeah, it wasn't my biggest fan, earlier, but it's all right. The ball looks so much better when you get it to the friction.
What do you think of the Summit? Anything else for the viewers?
I'm really interested to see what this looks like on patterns. I think it's going to be a good ball. A lot of people, a lot of different variety of bowlers, two-handers, one-handers. You got a lot of rev rate if you don't have a lot of rev rate. You can play all kinds of different angles with this bowling ball. It's going to be really versatile. I think it could be pretty fire, on certain patterns and stuff. So I'm excited to see what it looks like.
What's up, guys? Derek Acuff back for our comparison video. I'm the manager of the West Side over Glenfair and Union Hills. We're going to be throwing the Summit today up against a Track Stealth and a 900 Global Reality. Two of my favorite bowling balls, a big ASIM and then just a really smooth symmetrical ball. Standing on the big dot and looking at the second triangle.
Which is valid.
That's actually, I hate to say it, but it's pretty close. I'm standing on 18 and looking at 11. So might as well be. the dry a little too fast. When that ball sees the dry, it just absolutely goes. It likes the oil.
Would you see this fitting in a league bag for just like house shot, or do you think this would primarily come out during like a tournament patterns and stuff like that?
So far, what I'm seeing is much more towards like a league or a tournament bag rather than a league bag. It's a little too responsive for me to throw in league. Typically, I like to square up as much as possible. Just being left-handed, I have to open up the lane with this ball, so it just gets me a little bit further away from the head pin than I like on house. Sounds better. Just made sure to really roll it. Yeah, it's good. I think for me, when I get in situations where we're bowling on something that's a little longer and I need to shut down my angles, and a ball like a reality is just too much, too responsive, this is going to be the perfect step down because it's symmetrical. And for the most part, it's pretty slow as long as there's oil. But the second there's a little bit of dry, it really wants to go, and it goes early.
So you think something like Dick Weber, 45 feet, right? It's kind of...
Yeah, something like that, exactly.
Okay.
Even like the end of bowling on like London or Big Ben.
Shark
even, a little bit later in the day once the reality just finally starts to hook too early.
Sure.
I'm gonna go to a reality, pretty fresh. I've only had this ball for about a month. I'm gonna go 3 right. That was pretty good.
You've only had it a month. Do you love it? Hate
I
it?
love that ball.
Yeah.
That's my second one. I already have another one stashed. It's probably in my top 3 favorite ASIMs ever. There was no way that was striking.
I actually thought that was okay.
It
but
just got there too quick.
yeah.
So for me, this ball is gonna fit under the summit, be a little bit longer down the lane, and just much smoother once it reacts. Perfect benchmark ball right in the middle. You can see it really just doesn't change directions, it's just really smooth, but still really strong. I was into the dry pretty quick, but as you can see, being symmetric, being a super smooth ball, it just never really changed directions. The summit would have big forward from that same spot.
See, that one you could, that last shot you could, it really looked smooth, like a banana.
Yeah. You can see it just struggles to change directions from there, obviously.
Hey, all right, Derek, your thoughts on the ball? You know, saw you throw it against a couple good ones, so what are your final thoughts?
Final thoughts, I think I just need to see a little more volume for this ball, make sure I can throw it pretty straight and not really open up my angles with it. That's when it starts to struggle to change directions the right way. So I think I just need to see a little bit more volume so I can throw it a little bit more forward. So last minute thoughts on the ball, I think at the right time the ball is going to be absolutely fire. We just need to see some more volume for it, and it's going to definitely have a place in my bag.
Pretty good. I really like how early the ball starts. Believe it or not, I just think that when lanes get a little bit more difficult and unpredictable, I don't want anything that's too jerky and snappy, or that goes long and just wants to hop and stick down lane.
So you like this motion?
I do. I tend to like it. Naturally, I'm a little bit more forward roll than any side rotation, but I think this is actually going to have a good play in tournament conditions. Yeah, that was a little miss, but it looked pretty good. You have to check out that pink slip video this time. Yeah, the ball's still pretty good.
What do you think of the colors? I know sometimes greens in bowling balls, or if it is more yellow, I'm colorblind, so I apologize there.
Yeah, it's, you know, the colors are not my favorite. I hate to say anything that may sound like I'm bashing it. It's just, colors don't really do it for me, but I'll tell you, because I am a competitive player, the color of the bowling ball is the last thing I look at. So it doesn't affect me overall, but maybe you as a consumer who's watching might like it because of the certain colors. And so if you like the colors, that's great. But for me, if I'm gonna judge it on it, I don't like it, but I do love the scent. I have a huge sweet tooth. So Snickerdoodle.
You're comparing this to your Phase 2. Your Phase 2 is your trusty benchmark starter.
Yeah, so Phase 2, I think you're gonna hear many people talk about that ball when we compare it with the Summit, and I just think the Phase 2 is an excellent benchmark ball. And I think how it compares, or the Summit compares to the Phase 2, is that I see the ball wanting to rev earlier. And that's something that I think when you want to use it, you have to just be mindful of it, because it will serve its place in your arsenal. If you have a travel league, if you are a tournament player, or even those who are doing PBA regionals and even national tour players, you're going to see that ball be more useful.
About
A little easier to manipulate that one, just because it's so smooth and predictable. It's not something trying to rev up. Yeah, all right, so we just did the ball comparison, Summit to my Phase 2, which is my benchmark ball. The Summit, a lot earlier, hybrid cover. I can still see it being used for tournament play, just because it's something that does start up earlier. Hit it with some surface, you can play on conditions that are pretty tough, just because you've got something going early, not wanting to go down the lane and just do sharp hooks down lane, right? This is going to be a little bit more predictable. It does have its limitations. It's nothing that I think is like an everyday go-to. They will go to tournaments with me. It's something I will use, and for that reason, because it's pretty conditional, it's going to be fire, because it is still good, something I can manipulate and use. That's my rating for it.